Jupiter enters Cancer on June 9th for the first time since 2013, the planet of good luck, of fortune, abundance, success. This is about to change the game for each and every one of us. The first 6 months of 2025 were not easy. It's finally time for some good stuff. So follow along with your sign to see what good fortune, abundance, successful opportunities could come forward in your life throughout the year. I will mention that Jupiter is going to make a square to Saturn and Neptune in the first 2 months of this transit, so June and July. And so it's very likely that we will only begin to see the abundance that Jupiter likes to bring us only in August. I'm starting with Virgo. Make sure to check out the video before this one for the rest of the sign. Virgo, Jupiter enters your 11th house. Get ready for major gains, major reward. The last 2 years, you were tested by Saturn and Pisces. You matured, you understand more now, you see more clearly now, and now it's time for a major moment of reward. This year is about choosing who or what is worth walking into the future with. The 11th house is our goals. It's our future. It's our 5-year plan. The 11th house is also the house of friendship and gains and networking and the people that you know. And so Jupiter is going to bring you a lot of good luck and a lot of good fortune, creating communities, finding your people. In the first half of this transit, you will see exactly who needs to go. Now, for the first 2 months, June and July, there is this sort of deepness that will linger around in your energy because there is a square to Saturn and Neptune in your 8th house of intimacy, shared resources, transformation, power dynamics. The 8th house rules everything that we avoid: grief, loss, debt, shame, vulnerability, desire. And you may find that any emotional walls that you didn't even know that you had slowly beginning to crumble because it's time to connect with someone on a deep and soulful level. Old survival patterns that used to work for you, like over perfectionism or withdrawing emotionally perhaps, or fear involving finances, money, entanglements, other people's money, other people's resources. It's letting go of that completely and facing your fears. And so I think this is going to be one of the most spiritual years for you, where you really let go of the things that you used to look at and be like, oh my God, I could never live without that. Are you kidding? And allowing yourself to drift away from anything or anyone that doesn't make you feel deeply. Remember, this is about connecting with someone on a very deep, emotional, intimate level. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you find yourself outgrowing people, places, or things that just don't longer reflect where you're going, who you're trying to become. Not everybody deserves access to your energy, but the ones that do, they're a part of the new world that you're building. And that's exactly what this year is kind of looking like for me. Yes, lots of gains, lots of new communities and friendships and people that you are going to be surrounded by, but it's also at the same time a whole new world that you are slowly building from scratch that involves a lot of trust with yourself and what you know that you're capable of doing. Libra, you are one of the 4 that is highly affected by this transit. And it's all about your career, your reputation, your status, what you stand for. All of that is about to take the next level, and Jupiter is going to reward you with a very high position in whatever it is that you do professionally. It looks like you're finally going to pursue a calling that you've held inside of you for years, but only if it feeds your soul. And then you have that Saturn-Neptune conjunction in your 7th house for the first 2 months, really activated by this square to Jupiter. And love could feel blurry. It could feel a little maybe confusing or karmic, misleading, indecisive. And you know what? Neptune could dissolve any connection that is not the one that is going to be best for your highest self. And if you're already in a relationship and there's a solid foundation, this could bring marriage into your life. Saturn is going to demand you to make a decision, have some sort of sense of commitment. People around you are going to demand this sort of honesty. They're going to look at you and be like, what do you want? I think you're going to redefine the balance between success and intimacy, and you don't have to lose one in order to gain the other. You are going to be called to stop betraying your heart in the name of keeping the peace. I don't know if this year is going to let you stay neutral any longer. You're allowed to want more in love, in purpose, in your career, in all areas of your life. Pay attention to what those who you love and you know love you want out of you over the next 2 months. I think that's the first step in gaining a little bit more insight about what decision will be best for you and your relationships. Scorpio, I'm excited for you. Jupiter leaves your 8th house, enters your 9th 9th, and it's like a breath of fresh air. Oh my God, you can breathe again. Jupiter is going to take you everywhere. If it's not physically, then it's mentally. But travel, learning something, expanding your horizon, spirituality, cultures, publishing a book, writing something, learning, teaching. You're going to crave freedom. And if anything is stunting that, I wouldn't be surprised if you let it go and you move on and you break free. Now, there is a square to Saturn and Neptune in the 6th house. And yes, you're going to want all this freedom, but there's something about your work, something about your daily habits, routine, pets that are needing your attention, that are calling you, and they're going to have a major focus over the first 2 months. You might feel overwhelmed with responsibilities. Maybe there's a lot of energy at work that needs your attention. And this sort of trigger that this square is going to bring forward is going to help you realign your daily routines with your dreams. Your dream life needs some sort of structure, and that's exactly what's coming forward. You're going to figure out some sort of way that helps you attain both. You're allowed to have both. I wouldn't be surprised that your work starts to become something more meaningful, that inspires others, that you help, or that you move people with your wisdom and your teachings. Jupiter is going to show you how everything you went through in life, your healing, your wisdom, are all connected. You can teach from your experience, but that square to Saturn and Neptune are going to push you to tend to your own vessel. Anything or anyone that drains you throughout the day-to-day, your daily routine, your habits, those are all being dissolved, diminished, gone completely. You're going to be obsessed with taking care of your health and doing something for your body, for your soul. Your work is sacred when it aligns with your soul. When you're good in here, everything else externally starts reflecting that energy. Sagittarius, ooh, this is a big one for you because Jupiter is your chart ruler, and so you are going to feel his energy heavily. Jupiter enters your 8th house, the house of death and rebirth, transformation, trust, vulnerability, shared resources, finances, intimacy. That's also such a big word for you, especially because the square to Saturn and Neptune in your 5th house of love. This year is going to be treasurable for you, and treasures are something that we find beneath the surface. You're going to find yourself craving to travel inwards, and in there you're going to find a lot of themes related to relationships, intimacy. You might enter a very emotionally intense relationship. This is the soulmate house. If you're single, somebody could come into your life and show you all the things that you probably have been avoiding when it comes to connecting with someone on a deep soulful level. You could receive unexpected support financially, emotionally, but only if you are willing to really let someone in. You might also feel that you're ready to release past entanglements, relationships that energetically drain you. And so Jupiter is going to ask you, what are you ready to alchemize into power? The things that hurt you, how are you going to transmute it into something that makes you stronger and better? And then the square to Saturn and Neptune in your 5th house. What's real? What's performative? What part of your love life is rooted in fantasy and what is based off mutual presence? Who was there for you? Who is in front of you? Sometimes, Sag, you're looking everywhere else but right here. Saturn is going to require you some sort of level of commitment when it comes to your creative projects and also your relationship. Can you find God in your joy and not just your work? Can you let your creativity rise from the ashes of your honesty and who you really are? Neptune in the 5th house, which is kind of an ego-based house. It's going to dissolve any personas that are impressive and lovable, yes, but they are at the cost of being real. And I think you're going to see that real liberation, what you always strive for, comes from being seen raw and whole in all of your magic, in all of your mess, and allowing yourself to feel so whole in who it is you really are. I just think there's so much magic in what it is that you choose to hide. And once you show up, express, and let go of any need to be perfect, especially as you have the eclipses in your 10th and 4th house, I think that's where the real happiness, the joy that you're always going to travel and search for and mentally be everywhere else, it's all already inside of you. And I hope that this transit shows you all of what you already are, and you don't have to chase love or be anything that doesn't reflect your true self, I guess. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, you are in the comment section. I promise it will still be juicy. I'm sorry, I just ran out of time talking so much. This is what happens when Mercury is in Gemini.